Hi, I'm Allegra Houston, and welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week. If you were expecting this to drop on YouTube on Saturday, my apologies for it being a little bit late. There were good reasons, which we don't need to go into here. Anyway, here we are. And if you have never been here before, welcome to discovering what we do at Imaginative Storm. We do a lot of things, and the tip of the iceberg is our Saturday Zoom session at noon Eastern time for an hour, and people Zoom in from all over the world, literally. People have Zoomed in from 6 out of the 7 continents, not Antarctica yet. And every week, my creative collaborator and I, James Dave and I, choose an image and we put it up on the screen for 2 minutes as preparatory to, in the end, we write for 10 minutes. But we start with a prompt because it's much easier to find something to write about if you've got something to spark your imagination. It's tough to sit down and go, I'm going to write, even if you know you have a project, to just sit down and stare at a blank page. So this is a technique that gets rid of the staring at a blank page part of things. So we start off with an image, which is not relevant to anybody or anything. And everybody who is on the call generates a list of words or short phrases for 2 minutes while the image is on the screen. Just a list, not joined up writing. And then we'll come back after that. So here is the image, and we will ask you to generate your list of words or short phrases, whatever pops into your mind as you look at this image. The more random, the better. After everyone has generated their own list of words, we go around the Zoom screen, and we ask everybody to contribute one word or phrase from their personal list, and we create a community list, which functions as a kind of collective imagination, maybe, that we can all swim around in and use these words or not as we like. So we will now share Saturday's community list with you. Hardly believable. 2 oceans, me and my shadow, sand spit, yonder, water repellent, disappearing, vanishing point. Am I alive or dead? Tinder date, curl of the waves, four-way stop. A long road to where? Being brave. What do sandbars serve? Walking towards my death. Following seagulls. His way. Between. We don't walk alone. Infinite topography. Nothing else to carry. Awake. Wishful thinking. Ocean dreamland. Alone with the birds. Supposition. Frigid. Frightening. I will say those weren't at all the kinds of words that I was expecting when we chose that image. It's really kind of funny how these things go. So you have those words. Maybe you wrote some of them down as I read them. Don't worry if you didn't, because I will put the list up again during the 10-minute writing time, which is the next step. So in this 10 minutes, and by the way, I hope you're writing with a pen. Pen on paper is way more freeing to the imagination than typing on a screen. And there are many reasons for that. And if you are interested in those reasons, you can subscribe to Imaginative Storm on Substack, and you will find pieces on the subject. And you might also be interested in our book, Write What You Don't Know. Anyway, grab a pen and a piece of paper. And for the 10 minutes, which I will time you, just let your imagination take the lead. For most of your waking hours, your rational mind is in the lead, and your imagination and your creative mind, definitely get to play second fiddle. So for these 10 minutes, they let them be lead fiddle, lead violin. And if your imagination comes up with all kinds of weird, irrational stuff that doesn't make any sense, great. Go with it. Follow that. The only goal when you're writing for 10 minutes like this is to surprise yourself. So your 10 minutes will start now. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you surprised yourself, and something now exists in the world that didn't exist 10 minutes ago. And I'm going to encourage you to bring it even further into the world by reading it aloud. On our Zoom, we break out into breakout rooms so that everybody can read what they wrote aloud to an appreciative audience of 5 or 6 people. There's no point in being anything other than appreciative for something that's been written in 10 minutes. You know, nobody's pretending that it's any brilliant thing, but a lot of people will say that they write better in 10 minutes than they can in an hour. I am definitely one of those people, because what you get when you use this imaginative storm method is you get those surprises, you get those sparky turns of phrase and images that you can't just think up by force of will. So you appreciate those strengths in your writing more when you read aloud than when you read silently on the page. When you're reading on the page, you're kind of looking for things to fix, things to change. But when you read aloud, really what happens is you appreciate what you like about your writing, and that effortlessly pushes you towards your strengths. So put me on pause now and read what you wrote aloud. Even if you were the only person in the room, you weren't reading to an empty room, you were in it, and you are your most important audience when you do this. When I've written books, for me, the last stage of editing is sitting there for probably a couple of days and reading the whole thing aloud, not just blah, 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 but as connected as I can possibly be. And you have a sort of internal authenticity meter. And when you read aloud, your body just kind of tells you, just doesn't feel right. And so it's a really great editing tool as well. So now that you've done that, the next thing to tell you is that we have a platform where you can post what you wrote and become part of our community. It's called the Imaginative Storm Circle. It's free, as is our Zoom. If you want to join that in person, please, you are absolutely invited. And here's how you get to the circle. You'll be able to read what other people have written to the prompt and see how we roll. Here is how you post on the Imaginative Storm Circle. Go to imaginativestorm.com, scroll over to the community page, click there, and you will see Imaginative Storm on Circle. Click there, and it will take you down to that bit of the page where it explains the circle. You can click here in the picture, and you end up at the circle. It won't look quite like this because I'm logged in and it wants me to do things. It will ask you to make a username and a password. It's also free. And once you've done that, go over here to this navigation on the left. You can explore the rest of it at some point if you like, but prompt of the week is where we're going. And in prompt of the week, you will see with the date every single prompt that we have offered for over 4.5 years. So it's quite an archive. And let's just click on one and show you how this works. So we'll click on this mural. So here you will find the first thing, the credit, then a link to our YouTube. We create a YouTube video for each prompt where we do the timing for you. And then you'll find the Saturday words and the Thursday words, and then you will see what people have posted. And well, this was a week where nobody really replied very much, but you can like what people wrote and you can reply to what they wrote. And if you want, you can upload an audio or a video. See here, Kathleen has commented on Celia's. And you can, here Nave's also uploaded an audio. And then at the very bottom, you will see this. What are your thoughts? And that is where you type in what you wrote and you're done. And while you're at Imaginative Storm, you might want to check out some of the other things we offer. We have a number of books for writers. I've already mentioned Write What You Don't Know, which is the book of the Imaginative Storm method, our sort of flagship book, if you like. And we have a book of 50 writing prompts, of images with word lists, books on how to edit and how to read for an audience, And we also have Write What You Don't Know as an audio course, a video course, and a live on Zoom 10-week course. The current one actually just started on January 20th. The next one will start in September. So join our mailing list at imaginativestorm.com if you would like to be aware of that starting. And you also might like to check out our in-person retreats in Taos, New Mexico, and La Vita, Colorado. And then I do one memoir workshop in Nova Scotia in October. So you'll find out all about all of that at imaginativestorm.com. Thank you for joining me today.